What's up, y'all? This is my normal content of making movie reviews, but I think I have to make a movie review about Is God Is, because it might have been the worst movie that I watched this year. Okay, and it's not that the actors were bad is the thing, right? The actors weren't bad. They were pretty good if you look past everything else was going on, but it was the photography shots, the videography shots, the storytelling, and how everything was planned out. It was like I wrote in the movie. These are all the notes I wrote down. Okay, and there's a little like movie things, right? Like when the dad first, well, this is obviously spoilers, but when the dad first came in, right, and she knew he was here and she was holding a knife, she dropped the knife when dealing with him, when she knew that he was dangerous, which doesn't make sense, right? I feel like if she was in an altercation with him, like she didn't have the restraining order at all, got in an altercation with him, and then that's when he burnt down the building, when she didn't know he wasn't safe, and that's how they got burnt, that would make more sense. It would make it more problematic as he became an abusive father, and then that's why they're away from each other. Not that he had a restraining order and then his lawyer brought him to see his kids one more time, even though he had a restraining order. Like, it doesn't make any sense, you know? And I said, although it's a good concept, I feel like it has more cheap camera shots. It has a ton of cheap camera shots, okay? Like a ton, which isn't bad. You know, especially if they're having a low budget movie, it isn't bad. It isn't wrong to see that. But there has to be at least one scene where a movie like that, where it's very gory, very bloody, very killy, at least shows some type of goriness in the movie. Okay, it doesn't have to, but most people will want to see that. All right. And I said, unfortunately, one of the big motivators of the movie, they don't show us. Yes, they don't show us the mother being burned alive, so we can be empathetic with her. Like when you're watching a movie and the protagonist is going to do something on their mission, you want to have people want to feel the same way as the main character. Back on topic, right? You want to be able to connect with the main character. Like, for example, right? So the main character's parents get murdered, okay? If you see it happen, you want the revenge as much as the main character, right? Like, think of like anime. Like, let's say the girlfriend gets killed. But you don't know who killed her. Like, you can't, but the main character does. You can't empathize with the main character because you don't know who did it, right? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And then, unfortunately, a lot of the movie you can predict because it follows a common. It follows a very cliche pattern, extremely cliche pattern. Okay, if you haven't watched it yet, please, I recommend you go watch it so you can know what I'm talking about. If you have watched it, you'll know what I'm talking about. So, throughout the movie, there's random things that kind of don't make sense, like how the half brother. Oh my gosh, hold on, I'll bring up another point in a second. I just thought of the half brother. For some reason, somehow finds them, messes up their car, so they have to walk, and then they start walking. But then when they're walking, they find like a water. I'm not joking, by the way. They find like this little water well thing. They drink the water from it, and then one of the sisters goes, "Doesn't this seem too true to be true, or too good to be true?" And then they wake up in a bus. So they've been sleeping in a bus, but that would contradict what happened with the brother or the half brother. So we don't know if that was true or they were in the bus the whole time they were asleep. You know? Yeah, no. Does it sound confusing? That's because it's that confusing. Anyways, so they get to the dad's house where they're going to go try to kill him, and then they basically get into the house, and the son's there. So the other twins, their dad's other twins, think they're strippers for one of the brothers' birthdays that isn't for like a week or two. Okay, and then they go along with it so they can wait for the dad, and then they basically start stripping for their half brothers. which is insane, by the way. I also want to mention that they've been hiding the dad's face this whole time. So we've only seen like the bottom half up here. You can kind of know who it is because you can see his side. But like they pretty much just been hiding his face the whole time. And for people that don't know why, their perspective would be like, oh, they're just hiding this so they can make a big reveal of like, oh, the father, this is what the father looks like, blah blah blah. And that's it. Like they pretty much just had a really big actor that they were hiding until the end of the movie, and that's why they didn't show him to the end. That's pretty much what it is. Oh, hold up. And then I said the next shot they started fighting, but it didn't explain why, and it seems very rushed. Oh my gosh. So their parents, right? Or the parents, their mom sent them to go kill the dad, right? So they're in the car, and as they're in the car, they just start fighting out of nowhere. Like the whole movie is just like they're fighting on and off and on and off and on and off and on and off. Like there's no really clear statement of why they're fighting. Like there is, but it's only sometimes there's a clear reason why they're fighting. It's like they always fight and then they get back together, and then they fight again, and then they get back together. It's very weird. And the first time they fight, they never really had, oh my gosh, hold up, it's so bad. And then the first time they fight, they never really had a clear objective to really fight. It's just like they agree to go kill their father, and then they get in the car, they drive away, and they start fighting for no reason at all. Anyways, oh my gosh, there was this whole segment throughout the whole movie of girls just peeing. Like no bull. Like it's not like the whole movie was peeing, but there's random segments throughout the movie of, for some reason, the girls are they just have to pee for some reason. Like once or twice it's fine, but if you have to show every time a girl has to pee, it's very weird. Especially since they never showed a guy having to use the bathroom the whole movie. So like, and it's not in the bathroom. It's some weird, like I think at the start of the movie they were peeing, right? Yeah, start of the movie they were peeing, and then midway through the movie they were peeing in the bushes, and then they peed in the bushes again, and then the mom of the other family, or the boy twins, she was peeing, but we thought it was a bathroom, but she was peeing in a bottle, which is like it was a very weird thing to bring up. If they did something along the lines of like the twins were like one half, since they were always fighting and they were always contradicting to each other, if maybe it was a psychological movie where the twins is actually their consciousness, you know, trying to tell them not to do this and not to do this and don't do this and being more emotional, that would be a good twist. But they didn't do that. It was very weird. And then there was this, I liked it a little bit, where like their twins had like a psychological, like they had this telekinesis type thing where they could talk to each other, which is cool, but like they only used it because they could show that the other twin was alive, you know? Oh my gosh. And at the end of the movie, the dad, they burned the dad. I told you, very cliche. Like we knew that they were gonna burn the dad in the end, like the same thing they did with the mother, right? The dad pulls in one of the twins, and the other twin leaves her to die. She could have grabbed her. Like the dad is being burnt alive, and she wasn't being burnt at all. She just got dragged to the fire. You can drag her out. Like I guarantee you, the dad's not in the right mind space as being burned alive right now to be able to hold her long enough for her to die like that. But somehow he dragged her in to die. And then she ran out the building, leaving her. Oh my gosh. One of the big things is that like there's this theme of calling their mom God. But their mom never talks about how she is God. I feel like if the mom was psychologically abusive and manipulated them to kill their father because she is their mother like God, that would make more sense. Okay, let me break this down for you, right? The whole movie, I think it was the older sister. No. I think it was the older sister kept calling the mom God. She was like, God's telling us this, God's telling us that, blah, blah, blah. And she says, God says this, and she says, yeah, God is our mother, blah, 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 right? And there's no reason why they do this. Like, I'm pretty sure they didn't establish it with their mom that she was God, right? Like, they went to the mom, they said, she was like, okay, kill your father, blah, blah, blah. They leave, they go in the car, and then they're talking about how they're gonna do this. She's like, yeah, God has told us so. And then sister was like, God? She's like, yeah, mom. And then it just kept with the theme for no reason. I feel like it would be better if, like, the mom was manipulatively abusive to them, to the girls, and kept referring to herself as God. That would give the girls a reason to call her God. Okay, they would have to give the girls a reason to call her that, because they were manipulatively and physically and manipulatively abused to call her that, which would give a point to them calling her God. There's no reason for it. Oh. But yeah, that's another point. Oh my gosh, how strong is their dad? Their dad is strong. Like, first of all, not only did he fight off those two grown girls, by the way, which, don't get me wrong, a guy could do, but the way they were making him seem like he was the Hulk and just arming them is insane. Especially since one of them had like a sock and a rock in there and was hitting him. Like, that's crazy. And then he ripped out a guy's tongue. Like, do you know how much like fight, will, and freaking, like, oh my, and then not only that, but he ripped out his tongue. Like, there's no way that he didn't get any type of cops on him or anything like that. Oh, there's a scene where the half son of that crazy church lady, the son finds them somehow and hits their like engine and stuff with a hammer for some reason. But then he goes to attack them and he trips on nothing. But when I say he trips on nothing, I mean he trips on nothing. Like, he runs up, I'm telling you the whole scene right now. He runs up to them and they're running, right, as movies do. And they cut back to him to show where he's at, and he trips. He falls on nothing. They don't even show what he falls on. And then it cuts back to them and they're hiding someplace. They're like, oh yeah, I feel like they should have had a twist. Like, they had a twist, or they tried to have a twist where it was like, oh, like the mother manipulated them into trying to kill their father, like she was lying. That would have been a good twist, because he was being very generous and very kind, and you kind of started to trust him at the end. But you could either do that where the mom was lying, and that means the daughter died for no reason, and then she goes back and kills the mother, or the dad just kills everyone and wins. Tragic ending, but it's a like it would be a good movie ending. Oh, I don't know. The ending fight was some WWE type fight where you can tell it was fake because of how he was waiting for the punch. If you watch the movie, you could tell he was like waiting, like he was waiting for the punches. Like, there's no way you would wait that long, especially if you're someone that's trying to protect your life and trying to do self-defense. You would not wait that long to attack back. Like, he would get punched and he'd do this. Look, this is exactly what he do. Like I think he punched me. See, he do this. And then wait. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold up. Like, make that make sense, bro. Oh my gosh. It was just very obvious that they were going to burn his house down, and that movie was just bad. The actors weren't bad, okay? It's not like their acting was bad. It was that, I mean, like the actors themselves have been in really good movies. They've been really good actors, but it's just that movie was not the best movie to be in. But thank you all for listening to me rant. Thank you all for sitting with me while I talk about how bad that movie was, because I think it got like a 98% tomato rating, which is crazy. But please like, please subscribe, please share, please stay active on my channel because I'll be posting a lot. If you have any comments about the movie, please let me know down below. And I mean that. Please let me know down below because I want to read y'all's thoughts on this. But I'll talk to you later. It's the day out.